Hey guys, Michael SolGG here. Today we are going over what to do versus the three most popular defense or defensive concepts in the game. Let's get started here. We're going to go against what I think the most popular defense in the game, and that is spinner. What I'm going to do for spinner is throw a left side C route. As you can see, it is going to be a huge play. What I like to do for spinner is this, guys. I like to throw quick passes that will torch cover zero and will make them have to stop blitzing. Obviously, this blitz is very hard to pick up, but what I'm only going to do is I'm just going to throw before the blitz gets home. And the best way to beat man coverage in this game, hands down, is left side C routes. Left side C routes will be way more consistent in being man than right side C routes. But as you can see here, this left side C route is having no problem beating this man coverage for a huge play. It's also, even though it's a deeper pass, it is a 30, 40-yard pass, I'm still throwing it pretty quick. I'm throwing it on the break, and I'm just lobbing it, and it gives Carmichael time to cook, but it's still a huge play. Like, I'm throwing it quick to beat the blitz, and it's a huge play, and it will absolutely torch cover zero. It will force your opponent to have to either play more coverage to stop the C route or mix in zones. But then from there, we can manipulate the zone. But just the idea of getting them out of this cover zero look that spinner is, and make them have to either, like I said, go coverage or put zones out there. Another thing I love to do versus spinner is the tight end is manned up to the free safety on this play, meaning that he is cross-man. So if I run, so like 21 here, the safety in the top left, he is the one manned up to the tight end, meaning that he has to run all the way across the field to get to this guy. So like this flat, I'm going to have all day long for a huge play. I'm just trying to manipulate where the man coverage is because I know it's spinner. I know who is manned up to the tight end, and I'm just going to run a route to the right because he will never be able to catch this. Like, it's going to be a free 15 yards every time because where he's manned up. Another thing to note versus blitz, guys, is the running back here is not manned up to anybody. So like, let's say that that's their user responsibility. So let's say that they don't user that, the running back's going to be wide open. So it's just the idea of sending five out, guys. We know this blitz is going to be hard to pick up. It can screen, but it's just the idea of sending five out and running quick man-beating routes that will absolutely give them problems. So like, again, right here, the running back is not manned up. They have to go lurk that. If they don't lurk that, we have a big play. Another super popular defense, guys, is this base aligned DB fire. You will see this all the time. It's two different defenses from dollar. Spinner is obviously a man variation. DB Fire 2 is a cover 2 variation. One thing I love doing versus DB Fire is throwing some seam streaks. Unless what you have to do versus DB Fire as somebody that runs it myself, you have to put your safeties in the box. If you don't put your safeties in the box, if your opponent does not do that, these seams are going to be open all day long for huge plays. So, if you notice that your opponent is not putting their safeties in the box, take advantage of the seams, guys. There's a window here between the vert hook on the right and the deep half here on the right where we can throw this seam, and it is going to be, like you guys can see, like it is, I fumble, but it's a big play, like every time. Like, we're going to get 15, 20 yards on this, like, and they usually user, like, with this type of defense, they usually the running back side of the field. So because of that, they're never going to get to this ball, and it's going to have to make them either play aggressive and start manning guys up and start having to really adjust, or put their safeties in the box. But that takes time. Not everyone likes to do that. And if they get lazy and don't put safeties in the box, we're going to take advantage of those seams. Another thing I like to do for DB Fire, guys, is this is a blitz-heavy set that is, again, hard to pick up. Therefore, I like setting five routes out on the field with something like this, for example, right? So obviously, you can see here, it is a cover 2 shell with vert hooks on the middle linebackers. These vert hooks will do a bad job at playing any underneath trail or angle routes. Right here, this angle route to Quadfather will be open every single play because stock vert hooks do a terrible job at guarding anything underneath. I'll show it to you guys again. With this angle route, from the running back, will get open all day long, and it's just the idea, guys, of setting five receivers out versus blitz 5, and we are just going to throw the ball quick. Boom, this angle route is quick, it's easy, it is a free 10, 15 yards every time, and it is going to give them lots of problems to stop it. Another route here, too, guys, that will, similar to the angle route that I showed you from the running back, is a tight end trail route. Same idea. It's going to do a great job at getting underneath vert hooks for a big play. It's just, and again, it's 10, 15 yards. It's all day long. It's something that they're going to have a very hard time doing. And in Madden 23, guys, with how these blitzes are, and with no escape bars, it's hard to set up a super bomb to bomb cover 2. Sometimes you just have to be willing to take your checkdowns like this. It's still going to be a big play because Verhooks and zone is not that good in this game. Like, this is going to be very hard for them to guard. It's the opposite of the side of the user, so it's going to be very hard to lurk. It is something that, like I said, yellow or Verhooks will not guard it, and it is, like you guys have seen, like so far, I don't think I've gotten anything less than 10 yards from this trail route. It's a simple trail route. It's going to give them problems. It's just the idea of manipulating the Verhooks by throwing underneath them or also throwing seam streaks like this over them and in between them and the deep half. The last defense I want to show you guys how to counter is the cover 4 quarters or match defense. Match is something where I see it quite a bit in seasons, weekend league, etc. And it's something where if you don't know how to counter it ahead of time, it can be very annoying to play against. And it's something that's a great mix-in on defense. So I'm going to show you guys how to absolutely destroy it. So we're going to come out here and we're going to call verticals from Gun Bunch offset. Verticals is one of the most popular plays in Bunch, and it is found in every single playbook with Gun Bunch. And we're going to go against this cover 4 quarters from Big Nickel over G. We're going to, again, call verticals, and we're going to put its outside wheel on a streak. So it's going to be look like this. This is going to absolutely glitch out the match, so it is a touchdown. As you see, no one is near Randy Moss, and we are going to be walking in for 6. I'm showing you guys it again. This is something where if you see that your opponent is running this defense, this works for cover 4, cover 6 match as long as the quarter is on the bunt side of the field. So as long as our free safety, or excuse me, our strong safety here is in a quarter, and it is a match quarter, is going to absolutely bomb this for a touchdown. Boom. It will get your opponent out of this defense immediately. And again, like I said, if you don't have match bombs in your offense, it is something that is very annoying to go against. Is let's say they maybe put a half, but they keep their match on. I'm going to show you something that will turn the match off. So we're just going to come out here and flood. Doesn't matter. We're going to go against the same cover 4 match. So something to unmatch match coverage, guys, is if you have 4 wide receivers at the same side of the field, that will turn into stock zone. What I mean by that is now this cover 4 quarters that was cover 4 match before, it now turns into stock cover 4. So now this corner route, instead of getting matched to by the quarter, will be open. Boom. As you can see, the quarter does not play it. It's a wide open ball. But if I don't, here I'll show you what not to do. Let's say I call the same play, right? I don't motion over the running back, so I only have 3 receivers at the same side of the field. You watch how this can get matched. Ready? I throw it. You see how it gets guarded now? I can't throw it at all. But again, I could throw before because I had 4 wide receivers at the same side of the field. So again, motion over the running back just to have that 4th receiving threat to the left side of the field. I hike the ball, same play, different result because the quarter does not match because of that 4th receiving threat on the same side of the field. If you guys enjoyed that video and found something that you can add to your scheme, consider checking out SylGG, where we offer full schemes used at the highest level men. Link to websites in the description and use code GG for checkout for 20% off your next order.